What ancient secret lies hidden within the Invisible Tomb of Nanyang? An aristocrat's resting place, revealed in 6 Horse Emperor's Chariot, completely shocking the archaeological world. The intricate bronze fittings and eerily pristine horse skeletons are surrounded by matram muay, densely packed sacrificial pits. But the true horror of this discovery is just beginning to unfold. Late one night in Mayhangin Muoybay, a deafening explosion shattered the dead silence in Shazwang village, Nanyang. Tiles plummeted violently from rooftops, leaving awakened villagers whispering in pure terror. At the break of dawn, curious locals ventured out to investigate the disturbance, only to discover several terrifying bottomless pits, plunging dozens of meters directly into their own farmland. Panicked villagers immediately reported the strange anomaly, bringing seasoned archaeologists rushing to the eerie scene. They identified them as grave robbers' holes, littered with scattered ancient charcoal pieces, which radiocarbon dating revealed to be over 100 years old. Experts nervously theorized this was an mid-to early Warring States charcoal tomb, on a rare defense mechanism exclusively reserved for the absolute highest elite. But why did such an massive tomb lack any burial mound? To hushed conversations with the village elders, an chilling truth emerged. Above these very robber holes once loomed a massive, 20-meter, high mound of white earth, crowned by an forgotten shrine known as Zhonggang Temple. That temple was violently destroyed long ago, leaving behind only a single, weathered stone tablet from the Dao Guang era, ominously bearing the chilling inscription, the Invisible Tomb. As years passed, unaware villagers realized the strange white earth was incredibly waterproof and earthquake-resistant, tragically excavating it all to construct their own homes. Delving into dusty, forgotten local archives, experts uncovered that an mysterious Warring States bronze chime had once been unearthed inside the Zhonggang Temple, a relic that still quietly rests within the Nanyang Museum today. Every single haunting clue pointed to one undeniable truth. This was the legendary Invisible Tomb. An desperate, salvage excavation was immediately launched, with experts tracing sinister outlines using specialized Luoyang shovels. To their absolute astonishment, the shadowy contours gradually revealed an impossibly colossal, Jia-shaped grand tomb hiding beneath the earth. Up until this very chilling moment, it stands as the absolute largest and most terrifying burial site ever discovered in all of Nanyang. The dark burial chamber measures a staggering 1.1 meters wide and 1.5 meters long, with a 1 meter sloping path. Just west of the main chamber, a bizarre, elongated rectangular zone suddenly emerged from the soil. This eerie trench stretches 1 meters long and 9 meters wide. Experts breathlessly deduced this was the sacrificial chariot pit. This sinister spatial relationship between the two structures perfectly confirmed its dark, ancient purpose. A chariot pit of this unfathomable magnitude had never before been seen in Nanyang. Desperate to decipher the tomb's true identity, investigators methodically probed over Batram Phai Kong square meters of the surrounding cursed earth. Their relentless search yielded a jaw-dropping revelation. Hidden north of the main tomb laid some Chamhaimwechin additional Jia-shaped graves. 6 of these medium-sized tombs possessed their own grim chariot pits, strongly suggesting they were sacrificial subordinate burials. With bated breath, the archaeological team initiated an attentive, probing excavation of the treacherous sacrificial tomb number 1, located perilously close to the unknown master. As the suffocating backfill was painfully cleared away, they uncovered 2 sinister robber holes plunging straight into the main chamber, hiding unblood red iron adze left behind by ancient Han Dynasty tomb raiders. The entire grave had been stripped completely bare, leaving only a hauntingly empty shell. Tragically, the 4 subsequent medium-sized sacrificial tombs they opened couldn't escape this same ruthless, plundered fate either. Wave after wave of crushing disappointment made the experts severely doubt if the main tomb held any secrets left. This creeping despair deepened when yet another malicious robber hole appeared while excavating sacrificial pit number Hemoy Lam. The team harbored almost zero hope, finding absolutely no grave goods, even as they reached the dark bottom. Suddenly, an expert wielding An soil separator noticed An chilling anomaly. The mysterious tomb owner's skeletal remains were preserved perfectly intact. Hovering ominously just above the skull was an familiar, ghostly flash of green. It was An flawlessly preserved, exquisite bronze ding cauldron, completely unadorned, its tripod legs and loop handles somehow surviving the ravages of time unharmed. While frantically searching the cauldron's dark interior for identifying inscriptions, experts found An second, identical bronze ding, mere centimeters away. In ancient times, these imposing cauldrons were the ultimate ceremonial vessels used to decode An's person's true status. The ancient rites of Zhou dictate An's strict, odd, numbered hierarchy. 9 cauldrons for the emperor, 7 for feudal lords, 5 for high ministers, and 3 for lower officials. Why, then, were there exactly 2 inside sacrificial Tumhemoidam? Before they could even unravel that numerical riddle, another shadowy bronze Hu vessel emerged from the murky depths. Its elegant curves contracted into a narrow mouth, topped by a heavy lid adorned with 3 fearsome, beast-like loops. The vessel's sides were guarded by intricate mask motifs, magically cast as mythical beasts clutching heavy rings in their bronze jaws. Soon after, fragmented pieces were carefully gathered and resurrected into an remarkably shallow bronze pan basin. This eerie basin, flanked by loop handles, possessed an notoriously shallow belly, functioning much like an modern wash basin used in dark, forgotten, cleansing rituals of the ancient world. Lying quietly beside it was another, much smaller bronze implement, barely half the basin's length, featuring an suspended ring and an inward curving spout. Together, they formed An's chillingly sophisticated ancient hand washing system, An's ghostly echo of aristocratic hygiene. Through painstaking analysis of this pairing, it became dangerously clear these individuals held unterrifyingly high status, likely receiving this wealth as on direct royal decree. Tomb M25 ultimately yielded 2 unadorned bronze ding cauldrons, 2 bronze Hu vessels, and the matching mysterious washing set. Experts darkly theorized that the presence of only 2 cauldrons meant the tomb had indeed been partially robbed, but the owner was undoubtedly at least an first, rank official. Yet, with all 6 medium tombs brutally plundered to varying degrees, the surviving fragmented clues simply weren't enough to definitively decode the burial complex's true master. The team relentlessly pushed into the smaller sacrificial tombs, quickly unearthing a bizarre, spherical bronze dun vessel hiding inside Tomb M14. This peculiar bronze sphere consisted of 2 perfectly interlocking symmetrical halves, guarded by twin rings. The upper hemisphere bore 3 beast-shaped knobs, while the lower half rested upon 3 serpentine dragon legs, creating an aura of undeniable mystic power. As they dug deeper into the other surrounding graves, an absolute avalanche of shattered pottery fragments emerged from the shadows. After agonizing hours of restoration, over 300 strangely shaped ceramic vessels were miraculously brought back to life, including candle-like dew stands. These were ancient food receptacles, the ghostly, primitive ancestors of our modern dining plates. They also uncovered mysterious pottery Hu vessels, with sweeping lines, flat-bottomed yan steamers, twin-eared cauldrons, and narrow-mouthed pots hiding forgotten, ancient contents. There were even ceramic dun vessels, perfectly mirroring the earlier bronze discoveries. Comparing these to the medium-sized tombs, the ceramics in the 23 small graves shared the exact same shapes, functions, and chilling combinations, differing only in their earthly material. Why would graves in the exact same sacred cemetery display such staggering, horrifying wealth cap? The relentless excavation of Tomb M16 continued into the night, where basic pottery still heavily dominated the grim subterranean landscape. However, while carefully extracting the ceramics, a shiny, mysterious bronze artifact unexpectedly caught their eye. Once cleaned in the lab, it revealed An's flattened end adorned with delicate feather-like motifs, terminating in An's sinister, tightly curved hook. Experts positively identified this as An belt hook, an exclusive, highly coveted fastening device worn only by the highest ancient nobility, serving as unsilent, unquestionable symbol of ultimate, unyielding power. As they breached the dark confines of Tomb M18, another bizarre bronze shape waited at the bottom. As the soil separator brushed away the dirt, an deadly bronze sword revealed itself. Despite being mottled with heavy rust, its edge remained horrifyingly sharp. The very next tomb, M19, swiftly surrendered on second bronze blade. The hilt featured two distinctive rings, ingenious, lethal design ensuring the ancient wielder's grip would never slip in combat. These were no mere ceremonial props. They were blood-soaked weapons of war. As the meticulous clearing plunged deeper into the abyss, an third sword appeared, then an fourth. An inexplicable, massive arsenal of bronze blades began to surface, with nearly every unrobbed grave hiding a lethal weapon waiting in the dark. An staggering total of 17 swords were recovered, mostly measuring around 50 centimeters, each harboring its own unique, deadly shape. When experts cautiously tested their edges against thick ropes, the ancient blades sliced through with terrifying, effortless ease. Centuries of dark, suffocating burial had done absolutely nothing to dull their insatiable, bloody thirst for destruction. Then, an astonishing horde of bronze gi daggers emerged from the dirt, accompanied by the legendary king of all weapons, the bronze spear. Forensic analysis by Nanyang experts revealed an chilling tactical secret. Their deadly socket sizes perfectly matched one another. When these distinct weapons were fused together, they birthed a terrifying new instrument of death. The combination of dagger, spear, and shaft transformed into the dreaded Jihol bird. An hot, devastating hybrid, perfectly engineered for the brutal, unforgiving slaughters of the Warring States period. The investigators also uncovered a massive cache of bronze arrowheads, scattered like deadly seeds across nearly all the tombs. Together with sophisticated crossbow mechanisms, they formed a massive, terrifying long-range arsenal, hinting at a massive, highly weaponized and dangerous faction. Ultimately, these sacrificial tombs surrendered close, combat swords, devastating chariot halberds, armor, piercing arrowheads, and incredibly powerful crossbows. 2 millennia ago, this phantom army wielded the most advanced, lethal weaponry imaginable on Earth. Perhaps it was the unrelenting, bloody attrition of constant warfare that slowly dragged this powerful, mysterious aristocratic syndicate into total annihilation. In January the team finally began excavating the massive Invisible Tomb Chariot pit, seeking the ultimate hidden truth. In the dark realm of ancient burials, the noble elite utilized chariot pits as unstrict, unforgiving metric of their power. The rights of Zhao definitively state, the emperor commands 6 horses, feudal lords 5, high ministers 4, senior officials merely 3, while the lowly common peasant is strictly permitted only on solitary steed. Digging down Motsuijahe meters, researchers record the famous Emperor's 6 Horse Chariot Museum in Luoyang, which houses the Zhou Emperor's own colossal burial pit, measuring a staggering 1.8 meters long and 1 meters wide. Yet, shockingly, the Invisible Tomb's chariot pit was significantly larger than the Emperor's own grave. This flagrant violation of ancient ritual protocols was profoundly disturbing, as delicate tools painstakingly brushed away the dirt covering the ancient wooden vehicles. Fragment by fragment, the spectral chariots materialized from the shadows, canopies, shafts, and horse skulls. But what truly froze the expert's blood was the terrifying realization. Neatly aligned beside one specific chariot were exactly 6 equine skeletons. The horrific implication of 6 horses pulling a single chariot sent absolute shockwaves through the site. This formation is unbelievably rare nationwide because, according to sacred ritual texts, it exclusively signifies the Supreme Emperor's 6 horse chariot. Therefore, its rightful owner absolutely had to be of imperial rank. However, following the chaotic spring and autumn period, societal order violently collapsed, and rebellious lords frequently usurped royal privileges, making this dark discovery even more dangerously complex. The spine-chilling sight of the legendary Emperor's chariot completely paralyzed the onlookers. This was the absolute pinnacle of power, proving the mysterious tomb master's identity far exceeded their wildest, darkest imaginations. Driven to finally uncover the master's true face, the experts plunged into the main chamber's depths. But as the topsoil vanished, their worst nightmare materialized. Over a dozen sinister robber holes violently scarred the tomb's upper structure. Digging deeper into the plunderous tunnels, they found an indelicate porcelain bowl from the Song dynasty, confirming this grand tomb was brutally violated centuries ago. Undeterred, they descended an incredible Moy Bay meters further into the earth, navigating exactly 16 descending earthen steps leading into the abyssal coffin chamber. Experts chillingly deduced this belonged to An Paramount Chu state noble, where the depth and number of steps directly correlated to their absolute, terrifying dominance. The more steps there were, the higher the authority, and the greater their terrifying influence. But as they sifted through the violently desecrated chamber, they realized the majestic wooden coffins had long since rotted into complete nothingness. Miraculously, buried deep within the suffocating yellow earth, they uncovered exactly 4 human teeth. Forensic labs confirmed these chilling remains belonged to an mysterious male, roughly Bamu years old, with perfectly intact enamel indicating an diet of pure, decadent luxury. He undeniably lived an pampered, privileged life, completely shielded from any earthly starvation or hardship. Just inches from those ghostly teeth, an shattered bronze artifact suddenly emerged from the gloom. It was quickly identified as the intricate lid of an ceremonial incense burner, heavily scarred, but still, bearing mesmerizing, hollowed-out cloud patterns across its surface. These mystical vents allowed fragrant smoke to slither out, an ancient tool used to banish foul insects and magically purify the tainted air. Tragically, despite its massive scale, the brutally ransacked main tomb yielded only Matram Tamoy meager burial artifacts, including some jade. Cruelly, the exhausted excavators found absolutely zero direct evidence or inscriptions to unmask the owner's true identity. Yet, the monstrous scale of the Chariot pit alone guarantees this phantom was, at the very least, An's supremely powerful, untouchable fief, holding lord. After 2 grueling years of decoding this blood-soaked earth, the Invisible Tomb complex finally surrendered 1 main tomb, Motram Moy sacrificial graves, 2 massive chariot pits, and over Motfai Ba Kong Kong recovered artifacts pulled from the shadows. Yet, his true name remains forever buried in mystery. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Audioviceno, and turn on notifications so you won't miss new videos.